Few days ago, I've got news in a Discord server about Capcom asking if fans would like to have a remake of the first 3 MegaMan games. That title alone piqued my interest as a fan, so I had to check, and it turns out it is a survey Capcom did. You create a wallpaper by answering those survey questions and options. Once finished, they will send you the wallpaper to your email. It's a smartphone wallpaper, which is a little neat thing. You answer what they want and you get a little reward for it. Anyways, the survey quizzes are all stuff like what's the best Capcom game for you, what ability do you wish to have, or what game influenced you the most. And since I didn't play anything beyond Mega Man aside from games developed by Capcom developers with some of the Zelda games, my answers were all Mega Man-ish, except the ability you wish you had one. I choose double jumping. I know Zero and Base do that, but clearly references other Capcom title. And hey, sliding is cool and all, but reaching more heights as a 171cm guy is good-o. I would never say no. But there are 4 certain questions that I found more interesting. Firstly, a survey asking about what would you like to see having a new game or a sequel, and my answer is obvious. Then the aforementioned question about asking for a remake, which had Mega Man 1, 2, and 3. They mentioned if we would like them getting completely remade in story direction and in character designs, which could mean something. Then asking if I have a complaint I could send to Capcom, and if you are a huge Mega Man fan, I'm certain you choose needs to communicate with its fans better. We didn't have a main title game for long, twice now. We did not get any fresh new titles ever since 11. The game before 11 released 8 years prior to it, and now Mega Man 10 has reached its damn 13th anniversary and slowly crawling to its 14th one soon enough. And 11 has reached its 5th one, and the 6th one is on the way this year. It's worth mentioning that 11's announcement was due to Mega Man's 8 decades anniversary. 30 damn years. At the very least, reaching the 35th anniversary would give us a new and fresh title just like 11, right? Well, no. And last year, or 2 months ago, it was X's 30th anniversary. But what do you know? Still nothing. And lastly, about whether I have a final comment to Capcom. I will leave the next image to speak to itself. All of this is sparking hope and everything, but I wouldn't get my hopes super high until something is done or shown. I will leave the website for you all if you want to answer those yourself, but hey, I'm not saying you should answer them all in the side of Mega Man. If you don't care much, or if you have something else to choose from, like Ace Attorney, Street Fighters or something, then go ahead. It's not an obligation, but it's an opportunity for us Blue Bomber fans. In the end, I did indeed get the wallpaper, but I'm not using it. I'm not gonna switch a view of a nighty blue sky city for this, honestly. It's not bad by any means, but I don't think it's worth using or having as a wallpaper, but I still appreciate it. Props. Let's delve into the idea of the remakes a little bit. I wanted to talk about that in a very recent video I did about the state of Mega Man, seeing if remaking a game would be a good call or not for an entry until a fresh new one comes out or not. And well, conveniently, it is brought up now. Mega Man 1, 2, and 3 are considered the foundation of Mega Man. Mega Man 1 is a rugged game. It has its own quirkiness, it's pretty standard, it got some bland elements to it and simple ones too, which is fair. It is the first game, but at the same time, it got neat parts mixed to it. The weapons are neat, except for 2 maybe, and bosses are surprisingly decent but obviously simple. But you could say a little bit on the janky side too. The Fortress stages are my only gripe about it, because they feel too short and wacky in a way. Forgiveness is granted though, again it is the first game. Mega Man 2 is a rough sequel. It improved upon many things, like now it is a bit longer. It got 2 power to 3 number of robot masters, 3 utility items you can abuse to make the game easier, the first inclusion of E-Tank, and the removal of the score system. Why the hell was it even in the first game to begin with? Although, what's rough is how the game even's balanced here. Weapons in 2 are a hit or miss. Metal Blade is overpowered that it overshadows the rest of the weapons. But not because it also is so good, but because the other weapons are kinda meh. Except for Air Shooter and maybe Quick Boomerang and Leaf Shield. Like even if Metal Blade was balanced, the other weapons, if they remain the same, people will not hesitate to use it. The rest of the weapons feel like they are missing much in terms of damage and how they are handled. Bubble Lead, for instance, could sometimes be good and most of the time bad, because it flies off when hitting most of the enemies or doesn't do much damage in other times. The stages in 2 are also hit or miss. Metal Man's stage, in my opinion, is the best stage of the game. It has variety and nice little challenges and obstacles, not too extreme or too wacky. And there are other neat stages like Bubble Man and Air Man, but then the unfair ones like Quick Man or Wily Stage 4 you could say, and the not much happening ones like Wood Man and Crash Man for me, and the short ones like Flash Man. Fortress stages are just okay at best. I don't feel like they are either challenging or good. Bosses are also the same thing, either good or bad or straight up ridiculous. Mega Man 3 is a very beta game. Loads of glitches, bugs, slow down, and unfinished contents lay within it. The stages in 3 are fine actually, not so bland or not so great, but averagely good. The dark stages are also the same, I will give it that, but the wide stages are piss easy, easier than its prequels even. Weapons are fine for the most part, although 2 of the weapons are considered generally bad among the fans, with Top Spin and Spark Shock, and let me tell, for Top Spin, how it is handled is generally bugged. And seemingly with Spark Shock too. It does its poor job when a stunned enemy is blazed, but then another one collides with it, and the stun effect translates to the one who collides. Not sure if it is a feature, because it doesn't sound like it. Bosses in 3 are not so bad, but the dark robots are some of the unpolished ones. Not all of them, but they certainly make a player wish for a better fight. The storytelling of those games is poor. Mega Man 1 did not have even an intro, although in Powered Up, an actual remake of Mega Man 1, it had an intro that goes like...
I'm going to make an announcement. Quite a lot. We are off. I pissed on the moon, you idiot!
Stop, Dr. Wily. Stop, I say. Stop, Dr. Wily.
Professor, please, change me into a fighting robot.
Mega?
I can't help but not take the whole intro seriously. That's why I made it a bit of a parody, but at the same time, it fits the style of Powered Up very well since it is a cheapy, cartoony style, but if normally, I wouldn't really like it that much as an intro. Mega Man 2 has intro lore in a form of text, but the rest of the game is just the game. And Mega Man 3 did not even have an intro, just like 1. It does have cutscenes later, but what happened before that? Now for some speculations. Firstly, let me say, those games ultimately deserve a remake. And yes, even again for Mega Man 1. Powered Up is good, but not a real remake I would prefer. Still better than Mega Man 1. Those 3 games already have gotten a remake before, but in a style of Mega Man Wily Wars, where only the graphics and of course music have been upgraded. No major fixes, no changes, they were faithful remakes. The only thing unique to Wily Wars is the new added Wily Tower episode, where you use the weapons of the 3 Mega Man games in it. So here I am asking, if they will do those remakes for Mega Man 1, 2 and 3, Would they add also the Wily Tower? And for Mega Man 1, would they add Time and Oil Man again? I assume so. While I don't think Powered Up is canon, Oil Man at least was bland for the original Mega Man 1. So possibly they can still shove both in Mega Man 1 remakes. Maybe even adding the infamous Bond Man as an extra boss, just like Fake Man. Wily Tower I think is an actual canon event. I mean, the Genesis unit all appeared in the CD database of Mega Man and Bass, which it retcons it, so I guess they could be in the remakes. Sort of like an extra mode. Heck, even a DLC could work for those, but probably expanding things on that episode. Then again, in the survey, they asked if we would like the remakes with altered story direction and character designs, so pretty much anything could work. Can you imagine it though? A longer Flashman stage, a better Flashman fight, better time stopper, better storytelling, some of those aspects finally getting an overhaul? Man, it's so substantial. Also, I reckon we would get difficulty options. And man, would it be better if they were like in Mega Man 10. The difficulty settings there are awesome and make everything satisfyingly fair with major differences. Challenges like in Mega Man 11 will be cool to have too. I believe we will also get Endless Mode. So far it has been in running mode ever since Mega Man 9. I might expect an interaction dialogue when facing each boss. It didn't happen in 11, but it did happen in Powered Up. So maybe they could use that for inspiration since dialogues like these can get intriguing and informative. I'm sure they would do Proto Man justice by properly introducing him this time around. I'm not sure if he can be a playable character, but a story arc mode for him would sound much appreciated. And that's basically it. That's what I think we can get and what I speculate. I hope we get something out of the survey for real. But yeah, share this video if you found it interesting, and well, if you want anyone to do the survey too. See you all in the next video.